The poll today for Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center is, what will be the result of the upcoming Winnipeg-Saskatchewan back-to-back? We've given you 3 options today. Bombers sweep, Riders sweep, or a split. We got lots of votes coming in, guys. Well, maybe not surprisingly, the vast runaway leader right now is a Riders sweep. 62% of the vote saying the Riders will sweep this upcoming back-to-back. 36% saying it'll be a split. And a whopping 1.4% say the Bombers will sweep this home and home. And by the way, we got a lot of viewers in Winnipeg. I think even the Winnipeg viewers don't think the Bombers are going to split this thing. Or even, certainly,
yeah, I don't think they're confident. I really don't.
I think that 1% means that the sports doctor is probably up and watching.
And he's on
in town.
And he went to his iPad, then he went to his phone, then he went to his computer, and then he went to his wife's computer. And they voted on all of them. But
boy, I mean... I was it in your column today, kind of how the chips have fallen in the Riders' favor.
Cool.
And there's, I mean, that's not under their control. But if you would have asked the same poll question 3 weeks ago, I don't think that the results would have been even remotely the same. I think you would have probably seen split being the highest percentage.
But Rob Vanstone pointed it out in his column earlier this week, or on Twitter anyways. Everything is lined up in the Riders' favor. Sure it has. I mean, Fajardo came in at the right time and he started playing well. The schedule is worked out in the right way, that they've been able to work through the East and work through some lesser opponents, maybe, perhaps. Injuries, the Montreal thing, now this. But isn't it about time that something went in their favor? I mean, he pointed out 14-2 teams that can't get to the Grey Cup, injuries to key players, Lancaster,
2009
Durant,
Grey Cup.
Right, 2009 Grey Cup. Isn't it about time that something went in our favor?
Yeah, this is sports. I mean,
sure.
You don't think all the teams in the Indianapolis Colts division, do you think that they're sad right now that that Andrew Luck? Hey, I picked him in my fantasy draft.
You took Luck?
I had Luck.
That's why you don't draft till the preseason's over.
You know what I did? You know what I did now? Dak Prescott. Just went with my heart. Get the Cowboys guys.
Dak.
But, I mean... Yeah, is it about time? These things, I mean, sports has a funny way of evening out. The officiating calls have a funny way of working out at some point in time. I mean, we always look through things with green colored glasses, or whoever your team is. If you're the Bombers, they're blue colored glasses, and you can pick and choose and say, well, the world is against us now. Well, maybe.
They are actually saying that.
Well, and hey, go back to 2007. I mean, they've got to be for a number of years that things went wrong. They were in the 2011 Grey Cup. They had a chance. So you can go back and do that. I just love Vanstone's columns when he does that, because the guy's a bleeping walking encyclopedia when it comes to that stuff.
Yes.
Which is so fantastic. I love the memory lane trips, but... So what? Who are the Riders? Is Craig Dickinson going to go, gee, we feel really bad that we keep getting all these good breaks? No. You got to go.
Okay, so a couple things on that. And by the way, not to scramble everybody's mind here, welcome to mine. It's going in 8 different directions at once. But somebody's writing in about Nick Kypreos pulling the pin at Sportsnet today, or being told to pull the pin, however it all worked out. Conrad writes in and said, as long as Pierre Maguire isn't on NHL telecasts, it's a win.
Well, he is.
So my point is, I'd like to have 3 ongoing conversations today, if that's possible.
Wow.
And one of which is the NHL telecasts with Kypreos gone. And who would you like to see replace him? Who do you like best on there? Because that's what we got going on earlier. Guys say they like Kelly Rudy. Some said they don't. I love Kelly Rudy on there just because I love Kelly Rudy.
Wow.
He's a great guy. He's not the most wildest.
Fabulous.
He's certainly not Don Cherry, but his analysis is fantastic.
He's wonderful.
And he's just such a great person.
Yeah.
You guys were saying you love PJ Stock. I said I could take or leave him or whatever.
I could leave him.
Okay. The women really love PJ Stock, so there's that whole thing.
Sure.
So anyways, Nick Kypreos is leaving. Comments on Hockey Night in Canada, with or without him moving forward. I would love that. I guess Elliot Friedman is the new Al Strachan and the new Eric DeHatcher. Right? That's what he would be.
Elliot Friedman is, to me, the creme de la creme. I think he is outstanding. I don't think he ever tries to be hot take guy. He just presents the facts as he knows them, gives a subtle opinion as he knows them. And he is always well informed. articulate, and he is another guy that I've had a chance to be around once in a while, who is also just an exceptional guy to be around.
My dad always said about Pierre Maguire, by the way, love Pierre Maguire. He goes, everybody hates Pierre Maguire, but Pierre Maguire is always great to me. My dad always said whenever he ran into him in NHL arenas, so a lot of people don't like him, whatever. And the one thing we settled on before we even went to air today is that everybody likes different guys for different reasons, or different girls now with Cassie Campbell in the booth and la-di-da-di-da. So we got a lot of balls in the air this morning on topics, and I like it.
Speaking about broadcasters, did you see Troy Aikman the other day?
Oh, yeah, of course. Go off on Doug Gottlieb.
Wow, and they were on the same team. They both work at Fox.
I know.
Wow, did he hit him hard.
That was about the Andrew Luck retirement. So we got a lot of things going on today. Nelson writes in and he says we should touch on Cam Ward's one-day signing with the Carolina Hurricanes to retire as a Cane. Lloydminster's Cam. Is it Lloydminster or Saskatoon Cam Ward's from? Saskatoon, is it not? And Holtby's from Lloydminster.
Right.
We know how to grow goalies here. So we just touched on it. There you go.
Still don't like him.
Furthermore, we're waiting to bring in Matt Cause from TSN Radio Toronto. The Andrew Harris drug suspension. Do you believe him or do you not believe him?
Come on. Give me a break.
I know.
I
I'm
must
just
have
asking.
taken something that had trace elements in. Okay. Yeah. And my apple juice was actually beer when the police. Come on. Who's believing this anymore? And if you got a problem with it, Andrew Harris, find Lance Armstrong's number, phone him up and blame him, because we don't believe any of you guys anymore. We've been through it since 1988 in this country when Ben Johnson and Seoul, Korea, and somebody dropped a pill in his beer in the testing room. I mean, we're not buying any of this crap anymore. And how many of us were saying this season, man, Andrew Harris, I mean, the guy, he seems to be getting younger. He was my MOP at this stage of the race, of the season.
Easy.
No question. Unbelievable year. How is this guy? I mean, he's turned back the clock. Good for him. He seems like a good guy. He says all the right things. He's avoided controversy for his whole career. He's a guy that you could like. But now you look at it and you're like, oh, I guess so. That's not
sense.
shocking he's having such a great year.
Yeah.
Because somebody's put some trace elements in the stuff that he asked the kid at GNC to give him. No, not buying this for 1 second.
It's on him now, and it'll depend how he comes back from this. And it's the same kind of narrative that I've kept throughout the week. If he comes back and continues to be MOP Andrew Harris, we won't remember this. I mean, we'll think about it. We'll remember it, sure, but it won't be a focus. You think of all the guys. None of them have been the same. None of them. The guys who hit home runs, they've never been the same after they've been caught, if they were allowed to play, right? Tiger Woods has never been the same. It's been a long road back from his situation. Same thing with Lance Armstrong, right? If he can just... no speed bump, takes his 2 games off, continues to come back, rushes for 100 yards, couple of touchdowns, does his thing cleanly, obviously he would be, and he just continues to do his thing, then we'll think he can do it.
That's twice this week you've brought up Tiger Woods for PEDs. He was never found
I
to
never
have...
said PEDs, but when these situations happen and we get ruined by something, then we consider
there's a difference.
that he's not living that same lifestyle, and he's not the same guy.
You don't think there'll be a cloud over Harris over this? I'm sorry, and I have...
Not to the fans.
I think Marcus Sigpen is a hell of a guy. A hell of a player, sorry. But every time he kind of cracks a punt, I'm kind of like, raised eyebrow. And again, here's the drill with these guys. And please do not be naive on this. This is like your buddy back in the early 90s who got caught with a DUI in the small town of Saskatchewan. He was just the guy that got caught. There's a lot of people driving home after a couple of cocktails. There's a lot of guys.
And everybody knew it.
Yes. I think Abu touched on this the other day, with his child please, which I loved. Andrew Harris got caught on this one. But that doesn't mean that out of the, 500 players in this league, he's the one dirty guy. Don't make that mistake and think that. Because that is not how it's going down.
You're watching Rod Pedersen On Demand. For more of The Rod Pedersen Show, visit rodpedersen.com or follow Rod Pedersen on social media.